Hey guys, welcome back to the interview series. I'm Paul Hunter, an agent at KELLER REALTY Northeast, and today we're with Megan Black from Goosehead Insurance, and she's going to tell us all the important points of why we should have the insurance done during the buying process. So, Megan, why is insurance so important?
Well, it's important because it's going to cover, honestly, the biggest purchase of most people's lives. So the amount that you would pay out for a claim, let's say just a random water claim like the freeze, the pipe burst, those can be $100,000 claims. And if you don't have insurance, then rather than paying your deductible, that's maybe only $2,500 or whatever it may be, you're going to be paying the $100,000 out of pocket. So we always recommend, being covered. And actually, if you do have a loan, then the mortgage lender is going to require that you have home insurance.
So I can't get away with not having the loan.
I mean, if you can do a cash deal, then okay. But if you do have a loan, then it's required.
Okay. Well, when is the best time to start shopping for homeowners insurance?
Yeah, we recommend, as soon as you're looking, as soon as your contract gets accepted, to us, that's the best time because you still have that option period. So if maybe it's a bit higher than you thought, you can still back out of the deal. But also, the lenders start asking for it pretty early so they can get the more accurate numbers in there for the closing. So as soon as your contract's accepted, give us a call.
Does that include flood insurance or is that separate?
Flood insurance is actually a separate policy. If you're not in a flood zone, it's not required. If you are in a designated flood zone and you do have a loan, then your lender will require that you have flood insurance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And we should know that before we actually continue with the contract, right?
Yeah, the flood zone determination is pretty quick. So even if you just are kind of shopping around and you want to know if it's in a flood zone or not, a couple of addresses, we can do that pretty quickly for you guys.
Okay, well, I have another question that's kind of
Yeah.
interesting in the sense that what is the difference between an independent agent or broker versus like a captive agent?
Right. So a captive agent is only going to be able to sell the product that they're working for. So a great example would be State Farm, Allstate, Geico. Those are captive agents. They can only sell State Farm, Allstate, and Geico. An independent agent, we shop with a multitude of carriers, sometimes including some of those, like we do shop with, some of the bigger names, but we're just able to shop the market with all kinds of different carriers and just try to find the best option. That way you're not having to go out and make all those calls yourself.
Okay, that sounds like a
Yeah,
great
we
benefit.
take the work out of it for you.
Well, Megan, for a last
Yeah.
question, what am I not asking you that I should be?
Well, a really big thing right now is the roof age. We've been seeing a lot of homes that are maybe older, that have the older roofs. So 15 years is the cutoff for a carrier covering it at replacement cost, meaning that they will cover the full value of your roof minus your deductible. So if it's older than 20, it's honestly very hard to place anywhere. Nobody wants an old roof. But definitely if it's getting close to that 15-year mark, have a roofer check it out and see if either the seller can file the claim or maybe the buyer can help split the deductible with the seller, just things like that.
So what would you do in that case if the home has a 20-year-old roof?
Yeah.
What would you do with your insurance policy?
Well, you're gonna have to cut this part out.
Okay.
Well, at 20 years, honestly, it's very hard to place. They definitely require a letter from the roofer saying it has a minimum of 5 years of life left. But really, I mean, it's just up to the carrier. But a lot of times, once it reaches 20, they want it to be replaced.
So they wouldn't insure everything but the roof, right? It's either
There
everything
are
or
some-
nothing.
There are some instances where you can exclude the roof, just meaning that they won't cover it at all if anything happens. But that could be a little bit of a sticky situation if something happens to the roof and then causes, water damage or some other damage within the house because of that roof damage. So we always recommend, the newer the roof, the better. There are new roof discounts. So, I mean, it's just better to have the newer roof.
Well, guys, thank you very much for spending time with us. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, no problem.
And do not forget the homeowners insurance.
Awesome.